Hello everyone. Welcome to Standard 5, Lesson 01. In your module, page 1, you will find you will be required to write out these numbers in words. Now, before you can do that, you will need to be able to read them out. So first of all, how do we read? We read numbers in groups of 3. It means in your lower primary, you would have read, for example, if I give you 3 digits, this is a 3-digit number, you will easily read this as 325. Now, you should also by now know the place values. This is the house of ones, this is the house of tens, and this is the house of hundreds. What does that mean? Now, if someone asks you, what is the value of 3 here? You will know that it's 300. It carries a value of 300. The 2 carries the value of 20. And the 5 carries the value of 5. Add all these up and you will get 325. In Standard 3, you were introduced to the place value or the next house, which was the thousands, assuming this. And in Standard 4, 10 thousands, another digit. So 27,325. Sometimes people will separate this by using a comma or give a little space. Now, there is a reason why we do this. Coming to Standard 5, you would learn up to one more house, one more place value called the 100,000s. So in other words, if I were to put another number here, now this number would be read in groups of 3 as these 3 digits followed by the last 3 digits. So you read this like a normal number. How will you read this? 527. And then you mention the word thousand. The space here, okay, denotes. The space shows that there is a difference in the house. Okay, let's clear this all and look at it again. So this time, assuming these are your place values, okay, and this is your house of ones, tens, hundreds. Now again, ones, tens, and hundreds. That gives you a 6-digit number. You can put a comma here or you can just give some space. Space out the number just like how you would see here. Now, this is called the group of 3, and this is another group of 3. What do you mean by the group of 3? It's just your ones, tens, and hundreds. The ones, tens, and hundreds gets repeated here. Ones, tens, and hundreds. However, they happen in the land of the thousands or the group of thousands, which means any number here, for example, 7, it means 7 of 1,000, 7,000. Any number here, it means 8 of 10,000s. Any number here means hundreds of 10,000s. Sorry, hundreds of thousands. So if I want to read these together, I will have to group it up and read it as 387, then mention the word thousand, followed by whatever numbers that follow in the normal way. For example, 123. So with that example said and done, how will you do question number 1? Read it as 3 in groups of 3. This is 325. This is 809. However, this space here, you must remember, is for you to mention the word thousand. So then go on. 809. You can just straight away write 809. Okay, you don't have to put too many N's in it. Then don't forget, you have to mention the word thousand. This is super important. Okay, and then go on to the second group, 325. At this point, if you want to say 325, that's also fine. Okay, so this is how you would write out this number. So your clue, the important part here is you must catch the word thousand. Where is the word thousand? That word thousand is the separation here, the space in between. So then read three numbers. 601, mention the word thousand. 108 on the other side. 912, 1,007. Done. Similarly, you can answer all the rest of the questions. Learn to read in groups of 3. 312,007. Okay, clear. Now, after being able to read or to be able to write numbers in words, you will be required to expand. Now, expand means to break it up, or sometimes the word that you will see in your activity books will be partition. In Malay, we call this cerakin. Okay, so what do you mean by doing this? What do we do here? We break the numbers up in their place values. We call it expanded form. Partition into two things. There's two ways you can partition or you can break numbers up. One is called place value. The other one is called digit value. So remember, when a question asks you to expand or partition the number, you got to look into which style. Are you going to partition according to the place value style, answer, or the digit value? Now, if you look at your module, page 2, okay, and you compare it with page 3, you will find the difference automatically. The same questions, 240,628. Over here, 240,628. Look at the way the answers are here, are written out here. Okay, and look at the way the answers are written out here. In the first example, we take the first number and we write the house. Which house they are coming from. Do not forget, you must write the plus symbol. Then you put the digit, you put there 4, and you write the house. You put then 6, you write the house. Remember, 0 doesn't need to be written out. But if you write out 0, it's also not wrong. Okay? Partitioning it or expanding it in this way is called the place value style. Okay, or expand or partition in place value. This is how you write your answers. Now, on page 3, the same question, the numbers are expanded again. Again, you have the addition symbol between all the numbers. But if you look, they just write down the whole number. 200,000, they write 200,000 plus 40,000 plus 600 plus 20 plus 8. And this is called partitioning in digit value. So when you read a question, if they ask you to partition in digit value, this is how your answer should look like. If they ask you to partition in place value, then this is how your answers should look like. Now, it will be my suggestion for you to complete this module over 3 days. So for example, okay, every time on day 1, when you do the module, you do, for example, 3 to 4 questions on the first page, another 3 to 4 questions on the second page, and another 3 to 4 questions on the third page. Similarly, on the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. So do not do everything at one go, but instead break up this module into 3 days work. Okay, so now we have done page 2, which is expanding into place value. Page 3, which is the same thing, expanding into digit value. All you need to remember is always remember to put the plus symbol, okay, in between the numbers. Now, on the fourth page, it is still similar. You are still writing down the place value and the digit value of each numbers. Now, in this question, okay, please look at this question very carefully. There is a little mistake, okay. Page 4, okay. Place value to 1 million. Okay, now over here, they ask you to write the place value of the underlined digit. However, if you look at this answer, it's actually a digit value. Okay, if you write in this way, it's called a digit value. So what I want you to do is cancel this instruction. Okay, just cancel this instruction. Okay, all right, cancel this whole instruction. Just write here digit value, DV, and write over here place value, PV. So now digit value 500. Okay, this is correct. For 7, this will be 70,000. So 70,000. Write the digit out. Similarly, answer for the rest. Now, for the second table, you write the place value. So, for 1, the place value is the house of 10,000. So, you write there 1, or you just can write 10,000. That's the place value, okay, for that digit 1. Similarly, for 8, for the second question, it would be 100,000. Okay, 100,000. Okay, that would be your answer for the second question. And so on. So complete this. The upper table answer in digit value, the lower table answer in place value. Now, after that, you will be required to, again, write these numbers in expanded form, digit values. So break them up, write them out. In question 3, the expanded form is given and you are required to put them together in a standard form. Combine all the values. Okay, that's all. Now, question 4 requires to fill in the blanks according to the values, according to the place values. So over here, if you read this number, 27,582. So start with the ones. You'll need to put your 2, and then your 8, and then your 5, and then you are left with only thousands as one place value. But how many thousands do we have? We just don't have 7,000 here. We have 27,000. So you write 27,000. Okay, a quick detour from here would be, okay, it's still in place values. Let's say the question said 5/10 is equals to how much? Now, 5 in the house of tens, which is 10. So literally 5 times 10, it would be 50. The value 5/10 is 50. Now, if I say 9/10, then you can easily answer. What's your answer? 90. Very good. Now, what if now I asked you how much is 13/10? What would that be then? In the same way, you just times 10 to the 13 and you will get 130. So 13/10 means 130. Now, in the same way, if I gave you 5 hundredths instead of tens, your answer, you'd also need to times with 100. And that will give you 500. Similarly, if I say 9 hundredths, you're going to times 100 to your answer and you're going to give me 900 written down as a full form. Now, 13 hundredths. If the question was 13 hundredths, you're going to do the same thing times 100 and you are going to get 1,300. So the value of 13 hundredths is 1,300. If you understand this concept, then if I wrote 27 thousands, literally it means 27 times 1,000, which is the same as 27,000. Okay, so that's how you answer this question. But remember, again, ones, tens, hundreds, and this is the whole group of thousands. This is the whole group of thousands. There's 38,000 here. There's 135,000 here. Okay, so with that, you can complete page 4, question 4. Now, the next part of our module, of our lesson, comes to us being able to arrange. Okay, arrange numbers. Arrange means order. Another word is ordering numbers. But when we order or when we arrange, we can do it in either from the smallest to the largest. Okay, either from the smallest number to the largest number, or from the largest number to the smallest number. Now, if you do it from smallest to the largest, there's a word for it. It's called ascending. Okay, the word in maths is ascending pattern. Okay, now, similarly, if you arranged numbers from the biggest number, from the largest number to the smallest number, well, you got that right. It's called descending. It's going down. The values are becoming smaller. Okay, so both can be depicted by an arrow that's going down and an arrow that's going up. Over here, they have asked us to arrange numbers from the smallest to the largest, which means it's an ascending pattern. I believe it's for all questions. Let's have a look. Yes, from the smallest to the largest. Okay, so descending means the exact opposite. Now, how do you do these questions easily? Now, this is where your ability to read numbers becomes very important. Your ability to understand place value is important. Now, my suggestion is always separate the groups of 3. So put a little comma if you need it, a little comma, and a comma. That way, you separate your numbers into groups of 3, as I've mentioned earlier. So how do you read this number? It's 96,376. 135,214. Obviously, by just reading it, you understand this is more than this. 135 is more than 96. 80,000 only. 362,000. You see, I don't even read the whole number. I just read the thousands part. That's good enough. Good enough to figure out which is the smallest number here. So, the smallest number is going to definitely be 80,000, followed by 96,000, followed by 135,000, okay, and followed finally by 362,000. I just read the thousands and that gets me the answer. Good enough. Same way, okay, put a comma, see, ones, tens, hundreds, put a comma, ones, tens, hundreds, put a comma. So this number is 3-digit on the thousands, 2-digit on the thousands, 3-digit again. Obviously, 78,000 is going to be the first number, the smallest number. And followed by 105,000, 379,000, 480,000. Of course, you have to write the full number, okay? But understanding it comes from your knowledge of place value and your ability to read the number. Okay, put them in correct place values and read them as fast and understand which is bigger, which is smaller by just comparing the house of thousands. Okay, so that's how you complete page 5 on your module. Now, this page 5 also touches on your knowledge of understanding big and small, okay, large and small. So coming to page 6, in maths, we use symbols. If a number, okay, on the left is bigger than the number on the right, we can use a symbol like this, okay? We can use a symbol like this to show that it's bigger. So, big number, you use this. Now, if that small number is in front first, then you use the reverse sign, and then you have the big number here. So how do we remember this? It looks like an opening, right? This looks like a mouth. Maybe you can draw some teeth here, and that looks like a mouth, a crocodile mouth. So the crocodile is opening up, okay? So the bigger number, the space here is surely bigger than the space here. So in that way, it's easier for you to remember where is the position of the bigger number. The bigger number must always be at the opening, the mouth part where it opens up. Okay, so similarly now we can look at these numbers. Again, put a comma to help you read the number. So 382,000, 284,000. Of course, 300 is more than 200,000. So it's bigger. Put a comma. Put a comma. So this is only 40,000. This is 372,000. So this number is smaller. So the symbol goes this way. Now, put a comma. Put a comma. Read both numbers and they are the same. Now, if they are the same, then we use our equals symbol. Remember, this equal symbol is one of the most important things in maths. It shows you that whatever is on the left side of the equation of the symbol is the same as what's on the right. Now, if I wrote 2 is equals to 5, you will surely say, this is wrong, teacher. How can 2 equals to 5? But if I wrote 2 plus 3 equals to 5, then it's correct. Whatever is on the left is the same as what's on the right. And if it's not the same, then one has to be bigger and one has to be smaller. So we use these symbols. Okay, so there are 3 symbols here. Big, small, okay, bigger, smaller, and equals. Use them and complete this, exercise. Let's clear this now and move on to the second part. Again, over here, the numbers are broken up. They are already partitioned. So you got to find what's the total here. You got to add these values first. Okay, add the values first and then only do the comparing. Okay, so you first literally have to figure out what's the answer here. What's the total number over here? Only then you can write whether it's bigger or whether it's going to be smaller or whether it's equal. Okay, so one step a bit more. Now, with that, we go on to the last part. Now, the last part of our module, that's not all questions you need to do. It's just a counting back and counting on. Okay, so what do you mean by counting back? Means you go back by a certain number. For example, 30s. This number can change. They can say, oh, go back by the 20s, go back by 5s, go back by 3s, go back by 10s. Whatever they ask you to go back with, the pattern, you got to just follow it. Now, going back means, or counting back means subtracting. That means as you move forward on the number line, the number is becoming smaller and smaller. So you see a negative symbol here, enough. You do not have to do anything beyond that. Okay? All right. So some questions here will be omitted. Some you can do. Now, count back in 30s means 140 minus 30. Yes, it reaches 110. 110 minus 30. And that will give you 80. You write down your answer. Then 80 minus 30. Again, the pattern is a minus 30 pattern. So you get 50. 50 minus 30, you get 20, and you can stop there. Now, counting on the other hand, is adding on. So which means, let's clear this. Counting on by 60s means you're going to add every number here. It goes up by 60. So if you have 400 here, then this number should be 460. Okay. Now, if I have 460 here, then the earlier number is less 60. So if this is 220, something must have been added. Something plus 60 is going to give me my 220. So how do I find my 200? How do I find this something? Take that 220, do the reverse. Go and minus that 60 and go back. You'll find it's 160. Okay, 160 plus 60, that will give you 220. Similarly, you can complete question number 2 in that way. Question number 3 is counting back. So remember, counting back means you are subtracting. So you can do 30, you go back, you'll reach 20. Oh, sorry, 30, go back 20, you'll reach 10. Okay, minus 20, you'll reach 10. And from there on, you don't have to do because it goes into negative numbers, which is not in your syllabus. Okay. Now, again, we have a lot of count back questions here. Number 4 is also counting back. So you can do up to here, you can do up to here, and then this will be a negative number. You don't have to do this. Counting on by 70s. So omit the first two, start with 110 and go on and complete everything. Counting on by 50s, again, cancel the first 3 here and start off only answering these 2 questions. And then I believe this is the last question. No, 7, 8, 9. So counting back by 80s, number 7, this one you can do everything. Counting on by 90s, you start at 80 and you count on and complete it. Counting back by 60s, you can stop here. You don't have to do this. You just do this and this. Okay? Now, however, having said this, okay, if you wanted to expand a little bit, then I would suggest you to use a calculator. Okay, use a calculator and move on. Okay, for example, you have done it without the calculator. Now, let's do this. 50 minus, it's going back by 30, right? So, minus 30, you're going to get 20 here. So, what you do is you take your calculator, you type 20, and then you go and press the subtract button, the minus button, then you press 10, then you press the equals button, see what comes out. So, you will see negative 10 will come out. Oh, sorry, 20 minus 30, sorry. This should be 30, 20, it's here. Your pattern is minus 30, so press minus 30, then equals minus 10 will come out on your calculator. Do the same thing, minus 10. Okay, you just start with minus 10 and minus 30, okay, and you will reach minus 40. If you want, you can do this as an extension using your calculator. Okay, but if not, it's all right. You can stop at just the positive numbers. Okay, just work with them. This is just an extension and that's all. Okay, so that's a quick recap of your lesson 1, your module 1, in which you learn to read numbers, partition the numbers, place value, digit value, arrange the numbers, sequence them up. Okay, that's all for lesson 1. So with that, thank you very much.